Hello, everybody, and welcome back to In the Wee Hours. This is Taylor, and as always, my co-host.
Jean. Jean's here. Uh, uh,
His last name is here.
yeah, Sean here.
Are you
It's
related
it,
to Steve?
are you Steve? Steve who?
Steve here.
Steve? Oh no, I'm not related to him. I know his father, but no, I'm not related to him.
That's such an
Uh,
old man thing to say. Oh yeah, I know his father.
yeah, yes, because I am the old man of the podcast. But,
No, you already
uh,
made it clear in the first episode. I'm the old man with my
uh,
cane and my rattling fist. I had to listen to that thing like 600 times while I was editing, so I'm very bitter.
all right. Uh, so so should we get right into the task ahead?
Task is a very appropriate word for it because oh man, if people actually just randomly find this through like the YouTube search, I don't think there's going to be a lot of happy Meek Mill fans.
No, no, no way. Like, yeah, yes, it truly was a task listening to this. Uh, I mean, I was playing a game whilst listening to this, um, and it like not the game didn't get me angry. The album did.
Yeah, I did two tests. Like I usually do. Like my big test for music in particular is the driving test, right? Can you put it on in the car and listen to it all the way through without wanting to skip anything?
Okay.
It does not pass this test. It failed that test quite spectacularly, actually. Actually, there you go. There, that's
Yeah.
English. And I did another listen through the entire album right before we started, and it doesn't get better on repetitive listenings.
Yeah, it's this is Wins and Losses by Meek Mill, a currently big album. I think it was number four.
When we checked last week, yep.
Yeah. And on Billboard, I think it was called the website. Uh, and it was okay. So when I looked at the cover, I actually kind of like the cover. It's like it seems like all these like home photos he has, like and he brought them in and put them on the cover, and it's called the Wins and Losses, and that doesn't like it sounds like a rap album, but like something that could be more interesting than it is. Like, uh, I think there's multiple covers too.
Yeah, I was
Uh,
gonna say, like, just in general, I actually had no idea what genre we were getting from the cover.
yeah, it looked like it could be like reggae or like I think if you look at the details, it's obviously rap because he's like holding a microphone. Um, but just like glancing at it, like there's like it's like a guy with a halo over his head, which I don't know whether or not that's him, like a younger him. It's just there's lots of I don't know. I think when you look closer at it, like from a distance, it looks all right, but there's some worrying things in here, like pictures of money and I think that's a tea, like kettle or something. Um, uh, let's see. Well, let me. I'm digesting. We'll put a link to it in the description for the image of this
No,
album
if they
cover.
did their homework, they know what it looks like.
They don't count on people doing homework. Um, that's what teachers would tell you that. Um,
We're teachers,
we're
kinda.
teachers. We're teaching music right now, not about music, but music. Um,
But music.
but um, So yeah, and I went into the thing thinking it was going to be much more interesting than it was, um, because it wins and losses tells me that he's going to talk about being successful, a normal rap thing, but also about like the places where he's failed, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and in some ways he does this all over the like project, but none of the instrumentals ever reflect it. Like they're all big and boisterous. Um,
Uh, I would agree on the majority of the album, but I do think Young Black Americans does have that feel to it. Like, but
I,
it
I
it's. Go ahead.
I did not get to that one. I really couldn't listen to this album all the way through.
That's the one I like. While I was listening, I'm like, oh, Sean will like this one since he like. It reminded me of Kendrick Lamar, so I was like,
No, 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 no. For any listener, this is nothing like Kendrick Lamar's work.
no, no, no,
Um,
not the album, but that one song.
okay, then I'll have to give that a listen, and I think next week I'll talk about my thoughts on that track. Um, uh, but it's just that every single track, in a way, like if he talks about more about his successes and his losses all the time, like even if he's not like he's supposed to be talking about something important, like even Heavy Heart, like he's Heavy
Well,
Heart is the second track.
well, let's just let's take it from the top. We'll start at wins and
Okay,
losses.
okay, yeah. Um,
I have no idea how to explain the song. I do really like the little do thing the keyboard does. That's really cool. I really like the instrumentation on wins and losses.
yeah, I like the I yeah, I think I agree too. I think one of my problems with the instrumentals all over this album is that this isn't really current rap. Like this isn't done in the style that you'd see most rap done nowadays. Like nowadays, there's a ton of trap, like
I'll take your word for it.
called in mumble rap, which is like Little Uzi Vert, that song we listened to last week. That's the style of rap right now. Is sort of lazy, more melodic stuff. So this is kind of an aberration compared to all that stuff. Like it's different, but not in a good way. I don't think the instrumentals.
Speaking of Uzi Vert, he's on this album.
Yeah, and he's bad. He's um uh
So I think that's about all we have to say on the
I
track wins and losses, unless you have
I
something to add.
I do have a thing to add. I like it as an opener. Like I think as for setting the scene for the rest of the album, if he ever actually followed through on the concept, I think this track would work. Like like it would work as like this like big grand opener to this album where he's going to be talking about a whole bunch of different stuff or like his wins and losses. But not really. He doesn't really do that. Um uh, I, I
Oh
I
man.
like some of the rapping here. Like I think he's some of the better flows on this track. Um, but other than that, lyrics, there's not much to say. Uh,
No,
uh,
not really. Let's speaking of lyrics, that's a perfect segue into Heavy Heart. Oh man. I was listening to it and I was like, okay, okay, it's okay. And then I heard the line. Oh, what the hell is it? Ah, there it is. Fucking famous bitches and that pussy tastes like caviar. I was like, what?
you're fucking them and they taste like caviar. Like, is your dick tasting? I don't know. Like,
It's just such a like. It's such a weird. It reminds me a lot of this and another lyric in another song, particularly. It reminds me a lot of like that type of I don't know what you'd call it. The guy who sang "Tonight I'm fucking you." It's that weird, creepy, backhanded compliment type thing.
let me. You mean like it's sort of like you're complimenting, but it's just actually gross.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
like to any sane person, it's just gross. Like.
Yeah, I
Uh,
don't know. Like me personally, I don't know any woman I'd say that to. Now I might get saying it's like you don't know the right women. It's like I don't really want to know those women, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think that might be also a problem with us listening to this, is that I'm a rap fan, but I don't think music like this is targeted at us.
Well, no,
Uh,
I was gonna actually bring that up at the end. That I know this isn't for me, but I also have the opinion that good music should transcend target audience.
yeah, yeah. I think like any good music, like it penetrates the borders between music, right? Like, um, and there's certainly ones that are super steeped in the culture, like I think listening to something like if to Pimp a Butterfly is entirely about like black music and rap music, and the life of a famous rapper, but in a way that's like sort of like this, like what this album wanted to be. It's about, success and failure at once. Uh, uh, and Yeah, this should be better than it is to be a good rap album,
Well,
I think.
that's a really big distinction because like I said, I'm not big on the rap scene nowadays, but I was a fan of rap when I was younger. Like I used to love DMX, Eminem, all those guys, and that type of rap doesn't really exist anymore for the most part. Like at least I don't know where to find it. Like I don't know the like the way I know classifications of metal, I also know fuck all about classifications of rap and hip hop. Like it's just not there.
So
But
I'd say DMX is sort of like it's like sort of hardcore, like it's meant to sound hard, like it's like stereo rap. I don't know if there's like a specific classification, but it's stuff that's supposed to be bouncing in the car and sound aggressive, Um, and I that stuff, like I don't see much of it nowadays, certainly. But I think like all it's been replaced by is like weird mixes of pop and rap music, which sound it's not good because rap depends all on flow. And if you're trying to strike somewhere in the middle, rapping doesn't sound too good as a melody either. So they found a middle ground that's bad. That's what I think about mumble rap. And that's where like really all big hip hop is. And like aggressive stuff has been sort of eschewed. Um,
yeah, well, it's like kind of how like has glam rap is one of the few genres I thought would die for a long time, but it's just more so evolved into different subcategories. Like there's not many guys like 50 Cent anymore, but that type of like
I
money
think
that type of rap is still exist.
I think glam rap has sort of infested all of rap, especially the mainstream, right? Right? Because like these are famous people who get like money and have chains, and that's how they proclaim their dominance. So that's all they can talk about, right? Like that's what their life's about. Um, so everything is kind of glam rap nowadays.
There are some
Um,
tracks like that on this album, actually.
yeah, yeah, surely. All right, how about
Actually,
we
next track, which actually is exactly the track I was thinking of, which is "Fuck That Check Up" featuring Little Uzi Vert.
Oh, yes. My first note is terrible hook that hurts my ears. Fuck. See, all over this project, there are hooks, and they're all terrible. They're like almost never good, and it's all repetition. Like it's like he constantly repeats them, like they're good in place of actual lyrics. Like in the middle of a verse, he'll just insert "fuck that chick," "fuck that chick," and I don't know.
It's very
It's
much the Nicki Minaj style of refrain from "You a Stupid Hoe," right? It's that
yeah,
type of thing.
yeah, and it's all right in small amounts. Like I've heard songs, um, where it works. Like Kendrick Lamar's his one of his singles from his most recent album, Damn, DNA. Um, he constantly repeats but he makes variations on it. But it's in my DNA. But he's like he uses meaning like he like actually changes the phrasing so it means something different almost every time, but it's all about DNA, and fuck that checkup is just fucking that checkup.
Well, it's like we brought up last week, where it's a weird refrain because it doesn't show up a lot through the song. It's also Little Uzi Vert, but "All my friends are dead." He repeats that for a while in the song, but he doesn't overuse it in that song. It's still a weird refrain, but it's not overused, and it's still like,
Yeah,
oh, that's kind of interesting. But the rest of the song didn't hold up to it. But
yeah, the lyrics didn't hold up to the meaning of the hook, and here that's not the only problem, is that the hook is actually bad too. Like fuck that checkup, I think like vapid lines like that, like I get nothing from that other than he makes money.
also, the beat in this song was, for me anyway, very repetitive. Like it actually, it
Yeah.
was one of the few songs. Actually, not. It's one of the few songs on the album that does have a very repetitive instrumental to it, and it's like
Yeah.
I've never been a fan of that in rap, and that's also like prolific in dance music now, where it's just one single thing like for 3 minutes, and that actually drives me crazy. So yeah.
Yeah. I think Little Uzi on this track, he's not good. Um, but I liked him on it only because he it was a break from hearing Meek Mill, like from hearing him talk, like it was sort of like a breather. Oh my God, like because he's very monotone, and Meek Mill has like he's not very unique as of like rap vocalist. So I get like tired of him quite often.
Head shaking lyric in this song for me. I'm on Perky, she on Molly, sipping on Dirty, smoking on Cali, big Rolls Royce, no Maseratis. I was like, wait. Once again, it was like a what type thing, and it's a
Why?
very odd thing because, like, once again, this is the epitome of glam rap. It glamorizes like the well, a drug culture,
Yeah,
which is also a big thing in a lot of rock music as well. I don't like it in either or, just because so many of my favorite people, my favorite musicians, have like died from drugs and stuff. And I'm not talking about weed. That like I'm very much fine with someone who smokes a joint, but
yeah,
E and stuff scares the crap out of me.
yeah. I think like dangerous substances can be like they're like wildfire. You know, you never know how somebody's gonna react, and it's just not safe. Um,
No,
uh, and I think the weirdest line, like part of that line you were just talking about, was no Maserati. Like why? Like why do you got to talk about something you don't have? There's no
but
reason.
he's got a
Like
big Rolls Royce.
yeah, but no Maserati. Of course he doesn't have a Maserati. Like
Well,
that's like saying I went to Burger King, not McDonald's. Like
yeah.
like
Okay,
come
fair
on now.
point.
Like it would make more sense if he said like if he didn't like Maseratis, he should have said, I got the Rolls Royce. Fuck Maserati. Like that would have made more sense than just saying no Maserati. Like yeah, that's the weirdest part of that line to me.
Uh,
Um,
I, do you have anything more on this one? Because I also, dear listener, I'm gonna say it's one person because it's probably just me for now. Uh, we tried. Honest to God, we tried to take notes. There's
yeah,
just not a
yeah.
lot to it.
Yeah, that's the thing with like rap like this. There's just not a lot of notes to take. And like even some good rap, there's not a ton of notes to take. Like because like a lot of early stuff is pretty I wouldn't say vapid, there just isn't that much depth to it. And if there is, it's sort of like kiddie pool. But that's fine, you know. Typically the beats are good or like the energy's good. This album doesn't have anything unique to it. Like you could get like a lot of the stuff elsewhere and it would be just as bad or good, depending on where you stand. Uh, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, Now
What
here's one I have a lot more notes for.
actually, I wrote one thing under this song. I wrote a couple of things under this song, and one of them was the line "best song on the album so far," and I think I stand by that.
Whatever you need.
Yes.
For me, this is one of my least favorites. Like,
Like it gets
uh,
it down because Chris Brown's on it. So
yeah, yeah. First note I wrote, "Fuck Chris Brown." Like, come on now. This is a song. This is a slow jam, and your fucking first person I think we hear on the track is Chris Brown. Like, come on now. He's like auto-tuned, right?
I do believe so.
Whew.
But like
Like,
this song, like I think I like it because it reminds me. It feels like a throwback to Blackstreet. Like it really reminds me of like the old R&B, like especially the music. It really does remind me of it.
I think I actually I agree with that in terms of sound, but the second I looked at the lyrics, it fucking went out the window. Like it's like the worst on the album. So the entire logic of the song is basically just if you get the things a woman wants, she'll be next to you, and that's the only thing you require. Like notes I wrote: buy things, buy things, win, women logic, like a barbarian chief. You know,
So it's the BioWare strategy to romance. Get them the gift they
yes,
like, and they'll fall in love with you.
yes, exactly. Yeah, there's nothing romantic about it because it's all like, in a way, it's like saying, "I'll do anything for you, babe." But that's like the bare minimum of romance, I think, like
And
of like being there.
Barry White said it much better, right?
Yeah, yeah. and and there's nothing unconditional about it. Like literally, wrap your arms around me, and then I'll buy you everything you fucking want. Like, hmm, yeah, uh,
Also, like I'm reading through the lyrics now, and some of it's like, if you have a dirty mind like myself, because I'm human and a male, uh, they're grody. They're
there. Well, I think we live in a different culture. Like right now, rap is a different culture. Like,
well, it is, but grody is still grody.
yeah, yeah. I guess it depends on the person. I
Well, dude, it's like Cannibal Corpse. Cannibal Corpse lyrics are grody. Not for the same reasons. Well, sometimes the same reasons, but they're still
Yeah.
grody. But when I go to Cannibal Corpse, I'm expecting that. Maybe that was my big thing. I didn't know what to expect from this album, so maybe for the first time in my life, I was like, maybe this will be good. Fuck me, was I wrong?
Well, isn't you're saying Cannibal Corpse, right?
Yes.
Isn't that like that's death metal, right?
Yeah, they literally have a song called "Fucked with a Knife," which is exactly what you think it's about.
Okay. Yeah. And I think I don't think it's supposed like this is supposed to be sexy. That I don't think Cannibal Corpse is supposed to be sexy.
I'm sure someone
L-
out there defines it sexy.
I'm sure, but like that's generally not what people are supposed to think about it. This is supposed to be a sexy slow jam, but in a way there's like this sort of what was I saying? There's this idea of like it's undermined by every other song and about how he talks about women. Like let me see, here's one of my notes. Fucking baddest whores is one of the first lines of the next song.
Of the next
And
song?
yeah, of the next song on 1942. Fucking the baddest whores. And like if we are supposed to believe the song at all about like at this moment he was, being romantic with a woman,
It
it's
shouldn't
just
flow into that.
yeah, it shouldn't flow. Like that's one of the first lyrics. And it doesn't work because there's this entire it's hypocritical or in like it contradicts later lyrics. That's the thing. It's like there's all these slow jams and they feel like they just need to be here. Like he's like, all right, we need to put one of these on the project, and he has two of them.
Well,
Uh,
I think I brought this up before we started recording, but I really a lot of this album feels like it's trying to be a lot of the last 5 years of rap, R&B, all into one thing, and it makes it not have a voice, its own voice for the most part. It sounds like a amalgam of styles that, and it's not consistent. There's no consistency to the album.
there's no good inspirations here, I don't think. Like I can't like point to anything and be like that came from that good thing over there. It's all from generic shit that everybody else has put out. And one thing is the mindset. There's always I think he makes references to Biggie and Pac and things like this.
He makes
There's all
yeah, he does.
yeah, because like there's this culture around how they're the best, but they were innovators in their style. Like if you listen to some Tupac, like I'm not a eyes on me is like his big album. I actually don't like it. I prefer Me Against the World, and it's like him contemplating the thought of death and that he might be gone in the next few years, which like it was like a year before he died or something, and it's one of the scariest like albums, and he talks about like being emotional, and like the beats on the thing aren't super unique, but um but they totally work for what they're doing, like, and it's just him being a great writer, uh and you get none of that. Like there's if he has any inspiration from Tupac, it isn't shown here.
This next song though, 1942 flow is beyond the line of the baddest whores. This is one of the tracks on the album that does have like more of a political leaning to it. It does very much have the anti Trump Trump America voice to it,
There was
there is a couple of those on this album, but this one is the first one that really like shouts it. If you look at the lyrics, but a big problem with it, though, like I said, it's very weird to have this on an album that's not like all political rap. You know what I mean? Not all. It's not like a. How do I put this? Rage Against the Machine don't have like a pop song on a Rage Against the Machine album because they are a political band. All their songs have a meaning to them, right?
yeah, and I think one of my problems, like I didn't even notice that political band. I saw the lyrics, but the problem is that it disregards it. Like in the let me look. In the fucking third verse, bloggers in the frenzy, truck to the Bentley, ain't doing no interviews. I'm busy with the itty. So when you see me out, don't ask me about no Nikki. Like there's nothing political about it. Like he completely disregards any of those themes at some point. No, okay, no. Earlier he said we litty. I made a note of that. He said the word litty, as in terms of being lit, but litty. That's terrible. Like that's like a little kid rap.
Oh man,
Like
I will be honest. I only picked up on that after reading the lyrics because when I was listening to this song, my note for it was a lot of this just flew into noise for me.
it just like you're just listening to it and your just mind went somewhere else.
I couldn't
Like
understand half the stuff he said, to be honest with you, but that's probably because I don't have an ear for rap music anymore.
I think it's also because like he doesn't stay on topic. Like he doesn't really like he's constantly jumping around to this thing and that thing in his head, and never really keeps on talking. Um, the political lyrics is I'm like Trump. I'm like Trump ain't feeling us. Cops still killing us, and as taking shots can't stop me. They ain't real enough. Like like there's these lyrics, but like when you're looking at that, it's the most base, like shallow thing they could say. Like he uses Trump and cops killing people to make himself be better than them. Like he uses them to elevate himself. Like, oh yeah, I'm better than them. Of course you are. Like, I mean, actually, I don't know. I don't know if he's better than them, but uh, it's just like really weird. I just don't think he uses the political stuff for any end, other than making him look better. Um,
I think you will change your opinion after you hear a young black American. I do
okay,
think that because I do think that is probably the strongest song on the album. It's just too bad it's on this album.
all right, I need to report back. Uh,
You said you gave up. Was it after this song, Issues?
uh, about there, yes,
Oh my god. These lyrics are awful.
yeah, uh,
Here's a
yes.
lyric. Icy like it's hockey and I'm playing with them sticks. Icy like it's hockey. Oh my god. As a Canadian that hurts me.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds pretty bad.
Fucking famous bitches in my trap house. My main bitch fight my side bitch cash doll. The only way to keep them quiet when I cash out. What the hell
What
does
the?
that mean?
So I think okay, cash call. I think he's meaning to say that his women are they're all they do is respond to money, and he only pays them with money, and they only like it's all about money to them, which is I don't know if that's flattering. And on this is issues, right? We're talking about
Yes, it's issues.
on this on the same fucking track, he says, "Better not tell nobody if I kiss you." Like, what is it? Like this entire album, he's been talking about fucking bitches in certain ways. Um, there's some really gross ones. Okay, on the last song, 1942, um, Scoopin' Todd thotties in the Phantom. That's the way of life, and make them fuck their best friends like they was dykes. Holy shit. Um,
Oh, it's not funny, but it is just for all the wrong reasons. Oh
it
my
makes it
god.
sound like rape. Like he picked them up and he's like looking at the two of them, these two women, they're best friends, or like it's like a club, and it makes them fuck each other or something. It's really weird.
Well,
And
it's like I wouldn't go so far as to use like rape flat out. It does come across as like really it just like I said grody, like sketchy. It's just not a good like once again as we brought up this album's not for us. This is very not much not an album for you as a rap fan or me as a not a rap fan. Like
yeah,
and I'm very curious to why this stuff is popular. I wish I did know someone who listened to a lot of this stuff, but I have actually never heard the name Meek Mills till we saw it on the Billboard charts.
I've heard it before. He's had some beef with other rap men. Um,
But do you know it from the beef or from his music?
beef.
So it's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it's see, I think his stuff is like it's meant to like empower like people, like it's supposed to make like any like wannabe gangster feel like good about it, or like or be the background music to some like millennial teenagers like bar, like I don't
House
know,
Party.
like yeah, house party, like a and I think that's what it's meant to be because there's nothing hard about this album. There's like there are moments where he talks about like dealing crack, and I just don't believe it. The album doesn't make me believe it, whether or not he's actually, you know.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm not calling into question his actual validity in these statements. It's just on this album is such a does such a poor job of getting across certain things. There's a line in a previous song where he talks about he quit school, and it's just it's a very odd album. It's just and like issues like I wrote this down for issues. It's back to the Uzi conversation we had last week. It's like you don't have issues, you're a dick.
yeah, yeah, he creates his own issues, right? Like
Yeah, he's
he's
his
the
own
source
worst
of
enemy.
and he doesn't realize it. And we can even see it by just looking at his lyrics. He's all the problems in his life.
And here's
Like,
the thing, I'm also very much one like someone who listens to a lot of theatrics, you and me both, we know like just necessarily because someone writes it doesn't mean it's true. Like he might not be not anything like this in real life, but it doesn't come across to me as somebody like there's certain singers I hear and I'm like I could have a beer with that guy. I don't think I could have a beer with Meek Mill.
I I think like there's lots of weird lines on this project that make me think it's a little bit more autobiographical. Um let me I can't, I'd have to look. Uh I don't know because wins and losses. Like I feel like the cover art makes it me think like it's autobiographical about like his life and his experiences. Like there's all this pictures of him and his family, and like it looks like him with his son or something. Like like what the like he doesn't talk about that once, I don't think.
Also, to the people who do find this and listen to it, our job is not to look into the backstory and production on these albums. That's not our job. Our job is to sit and listen to the album and judge it based on that alone. We shouldn't have to look up backstory. That shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah, I mean that's I feel like that's how music really should work. Is that you just can sit down and listen to it and like it.
Well,
Um,
that's all the trademarks of a good album, right?
yeah, like let me a few things I think I still have to say about issues. I actually like the beat on the song. I think it's weird for like compared to the rest of the songs, but not like it doesn't like sound sad. I don't know. I just kind of like it.
You know, like I said, a couple of the songs have really good beats.
Yeah.
If not simple, but they're good. Like they're passable for me.
Uh,
Like We Ball, the next song, I actually thought had a very good beat. And I wrote down another inoffensive yet generic song, and I'm reading the lyrics, and it's not that generic. It's just I don't know. The music and what he's rapping about don't really fit together.
Yeah, I think actually the best verse on this fucking project, not even best verse because there's so many problems with it, but Young Thug, like I like some of his lines. Like there's one where he's saying he watched a tape of his of one of his like good friends, best friends or something like that being killed, and he was literally puking afterwards. Like that's like a crazy lyric, you know? And it sounds like something you wouldn't lie about, as a gangster, you know? You wouldn't like say that you'd say your best friend die on a videotape and started puking. Uh, and like there are times where in his delivery, Young Thug is like, it sounds like he's on the verge of tears. Like I like that. I like his verse personally. Um, uh,
I'm just
yeah,
I'm
like
looking at the lyrics trying to find it on this track and I can't.
it's at right at the end.
It's right at the end.
Yes, it's is it? Oh no, wrong song. It's on Weeball, right?
Yeah, we're on Weeball.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, verse two, not right at the end, just above it. He does also the outro. Um, uh, when they killed my N-word, I seen the footage on the tape. Man, I must have threw up everything I ever ate. Man, I know he got some dice at the Heaven's Gate, kicking shit with all these bitches like he's Kevin Gates. Like even though it's sort of hedonistic, like these lines, especially right here,
Yeah.
um, they're still. I think there still shows like an emotional side to him,
Well,
like of Young Thug. And this isn't even the main rapper on the project, and he has the best verse to
one
me.
point I was going to bring up in our overall thoughts, but since you brought this up, I'll bring it up now. The guest stars on most of these songs I like better than Meek Mill.
Yeah. I think especially on this track, like it's weird and hedonistic still, but like kicking shit with all these bitches like he's Kevin Gates. Sure,
But
uh,
but like it goes back to my thing where rap and not all rap, but like this type of rap and it's like how certain types of metal are just hedonistic. It's just that type of that's what usually that music's about, right? It's very hard
yeah,
to deviate from that and stay popular. Also, one rapper I always forget to bring up when I say I like rap, I like Nas.
yeah.
So
Nas, no, I'm actually not the biggest fan of Nas. I'm like I tried listening to Illmatic, and I understand why people like it. It's just not. I don't think it's for me.
yeah, no,
Uh,
see, that's the album I like. So
yeah. Well, that's the classic. That's one of the classics in all of hip hop. Uh, those tend to be most of the classics I like. It's just certain ones like I think Pac really stood out to me was going through the rabbit hole of rap, uh, and the Roots. Any album by the Roots I pretty much like. Their classic is called Things Fall Apart. It's a jazz rap album. Um,
Cypress Hill.
oh, Cypress Hill. I don't know. They're like early rap, and I do have some problems with very early rap. Um,
Hits from the bong.
um,
Let's talk about infinitely like funner songs and albums than the one we have to listen to.
no, no. We're gonna go to track 10, and maybe Taylor can talk about some of the later ones, but I don't know because I only wrote notes up to 10. Um,
These scars. I don't know if this is where I gave up trying, but I literally wrote for this see above. So
my one like note I wrote was Future sucks. And that's the featured guest is like
is he the one doing that type of rap you mentioned earlier, the mumble rap?
yes, yes.
Okay.
That's Little Uzi and him both do it. Uzi, I don't know. Uzi can sometimes not do mumble rap. I don't know. Um, but yes, Future is terrible. Um,
That's what I was going to ask you. Are you familiar with a lot of these guest stars? Because, like, as someone who hasn't been involved in the rap scene in a long time, I say that like I was in the rap scene, who's listened to the rap scene in a long time. Like, I don't know half of these names. Like, Gordon Banks, I think is the other dude's name.
I don't know who Gordon Banks is. I don't think he's a big boy in the rap game. I've I've seen quite a few of these. Like I know who Rick Ross is. I know Quavo. Quavo's from Migos.
Rick Ross is the highlight of the album for me.
Anytime I hear Rick Ross, I sort of tune out, like because he's just so dumb. I don't know, he's like the only album or like feature I think I've ever heard and really liked from him was on a Kanye West, "My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy." The song he was on, he was perfect on. Um,
I think I like him because he kind of reminds me more of the older DMX style rapper, and it might just be because he has the deep voice. But
yeah, that sounds like it. Um,
so I'm just gonna skip that song because like I really don't have anything to say about these scars. Like it was probably the most generic. It's not like as offensive as other songs, but it's just I just could it wasn't for me at all. I just could not get into it.
yeah. Oh my goodness. Connect the dots. I have very few notes on, but I do have some notes.
I have two notes.
Yeah,
Can I do mine first since it's only
yeah,
two?
sure.
Interesting beat. I actually really like the beat in this song. Like I thought it was really like cool. And really enjoy Rick Ross on this track.
Rick Ross has one of the dumbest lines, though. Fucking. Let me read you this. Fucking actress, so she gotta play the role. I'm wondering, is he talking about her faking an orgasm? Fucking an actress, so she gotta play the role. Like, like that seems like the weirdest thing to brag about, right? Because like she has to
Pretend.
she she has to pretend, and I don't know what Rick Ross is like bragging about, like because he can't get women to actual orgasms,
I don't know. See this I think this might be going back into what we talked about in the first episode where you and me read way too much into this type of stuff.
but but why would he bring up an actress?
Let me look at the line. Still fly commercials, but I don't do TV shows. Fucking an actress, so she gotta play the role. You see in money what you know you see the most. Versace diners at a Donatella toast?
Versace.
Oh, I just saw the word. My bad.
Yeah,
I think it's spelt wrong in the lyrics I'm looking at. That's probably why.
I think it's spelled right. Versace. It is. That's it's
Isn't
Italian, so
isn't there usually like little symbols over it though?
nah, no.
What the hell am I thinking? I'm old, guys. Like, cut me some slack.
Yeah.
When I was growing
Um,
up, we used to play Du Hast at our house parties.
Duhas. Yeah, it's see the only thing that sets up that line is still fly commercial, but I don't do TV shows. So she got to play the role. Like that's I feel like it's such a vague lyric that like it didn't really mean anything to him,
Well,
but that's what it means to me. Like,
my interpretation was a prostitute.
but what? Like, are you saying that like? What about actress? Why would he put the word actress?
Mm, I ain't Rick Ross.
Well, I think if we use the word actress near, yes, she is faking orgasm for money. Maybe not for money, uh, but just doing it in general. Okay,
That's about all I have to say on that track.
yeah.
Next one is Fall Through. Oh, this must be your favorite.
No, it's another one.
I actually wrote three whole things for this one, so it's. I, oh my god. You actually give your thing on it first, because mine are so short and synced and to the point. This might be my least favorite track on the entire album.
Another shitty fake love song that is undermined by every other lyric on the project. That's
remember,
that's that's my one note.
remember, I brought up earlier the I don't mean to be rude, but damn you a sexy bitch. That's the vibe this song gave me as well. Take no offense, but you my bitch.
Yeah, that's not the way it works.
No, it's such a whenever you tell someone, and this is a rule to all you people, if you say the words take no offense, somebody's gonna take offense. I'm just throwing that out there. It's like when
Instant.
somebody says something to you and then adds the word but. You can pretty much disregard everything before the word but.
Yeah, yeah. What? Sad to say it, but I love you. Why is it sad to say I love you? Is that a sad thing to say? Like, what the fuck?
Like
Yeah.
this song really actually This one really bugged me be- because it's saying the vibe I got from it was the girl's using him for his money as well, and he doesn't care. So I guess that's romantic in a way, but it's not.
I mean, it's only like I think the whole thing about beauty in terms of the rap scene, it's all temporary, you know. Like like when he gets older, he's not. I feel like this is gonna be a washed up star. Like every like rap star to me nowadays seems like they're gonna end up like a washed up pop star, except for they don't like kill themselves with drugs.
Oh, that was the grunge era, right? For
Yeah,
the
but
most part.
I guess uh, but yeah, I just don't think we're gonna like we don't see a lot of rappers die. Like not really. Um but yeah, I
Oh
it
my god.
uh
Oh my fucking Christ. Fucking on
also
you good, got you bustin' like you Rambo. If you keep it hood so you really understand though, you was there through my ups and downs like a camel.
that's
Oh
so
god.
bad.
That's amazing.
It's
Yeah,
terrible.
but it's like
What
amazingly bad.
when I heard Rambo, you busted open like Rambo? It's talking about the guns, right? Like her legs. Okay, I think I get it. So her legs are like the big, like the where he has the dual M60s, like the dual big machine gun. He's like firing them at the same time,
Yeah, I'd assume so. That's the only thing I could think of.
and
Unless
so
there's
her
another
legs are like
Rambo.
the guns. Yeah, yeah.
Isn't bustin' a term for dancing?
And rap, like any word can mean anything. I think bustin' is. She says busted open, right?
No, no. Bustin' like you Rambo.
I think bustin' is meant like opening her legs for him.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, bustin' in rap can also mean like bustin' to get at it, right? Like
Yeah, yeah. Well, it can mean anything. Like certain words in rap nowadays just sort of are like it's based on the context they are in the sentence for what they mean. Like
which is good
it,
in some ways and bad in others, but yeah.
I think it makes for me it makes every like because everybody starts using the same term and they're using it constantly, like as in ways that probably shouldn't be used sometimes. And it makes a lot of things feel lazy. And makes like you listen to like new listeners super confused to what they're listening to.
I will say I as someone who doesn't like this music, I will say the song grew on me the more it progressed, but I honestly think it's because my spirit gave up halfway through. Because what I wrote for this was I wrote that about that lyric, and the next thing I wrote was a oh my god, this is garbage, Jesus fucking Christ. Then it gets better as the song progresses. The first minute does leave a sour note because I think it's that very first minute of the song that really does put that sour taste in your mouth compared to the rest of it. Like the rest of it, it's dumb, but it's not like, oh Christ, did he just say that?
Yeah. See, like he talks about his phantom. I know the recurring vehicle is his phantom, uh, and this is the same phantom he picked two women up and made them two best friends up and made them fuck like they're dykes. Um,
Stop saying it. I know it's
I'm not I have to quote what he was saying.
that's fair. I know it's just like,
I
oh
can't
man.
soften the blow for him. There's no recovering,
Maybe he's talking about like the thing that clogs a river.
No,
No, he's
no,
not. No, no,
no, he's not.
probably
It's
not.
spelled with a Y. Um, uh,
Man, I probably pissed some people. That's how I spelt it both ways.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Don't you spell a die can spell with a like an I? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Um, yeah, that's where I stopped. I couldn't go further.
Oh, you should be really happy then. So listeners, I'm gonna quickly blow through the rest of these songs with my one-line opinions. Never lose. Back to what we were discussing before. Way too repetitive. Started off liking the "I will never lose" refrain, I will never lose refrain, but quickly grew tired of it. It's in there way too much. It just kills the song.
Yeah, I'm looking at like the list of lyrics, and it's like at the end of every verse.
Yeah,
Or the
I didn't want to call it a chorus because it
Oh,
doesn't
it's a
feel like a chorus.
chorus.
It is a chorus, but I don't. It doesn't feel like one because it seems. I don't know. I don't think a chorus should be one fucking sentence repeated.
But that's half of the fucking choruses on this album,
Well,
if not all of them.
well, I meant like the other ones do have some like deviation in them at least. Like it's the same chorus in each spot, but it's not just the same line over
I
and over and over again.
one of the things I hate that he does is the ad libs. Like he just adds a yeah in there. Yeah. Yeah. Like he just like inserts it, you know? Like and he does that with like every word is like every chorus has like at least let's throw a yeah, and here's another yeah. Um it's really annoying and like it's meant to keep like a hook fresh, like these one phrase hooks fresh, but it doesn't. It just makes it like me understand that he's just stalling for space, you know. Um,
I think I might have had a stroke on the next song because I don't remember it at all. I didn't write a note down. I didn't even write the name of the song.
it's called Glow Up.
Yeah, didn't I listened to the entire playlist. I listened to it all. I don't remember this at all. That's not a good sign. The other stuff is bad, so bad I can remember it for the most part, or so like weird I can remember it. This is just gone. I didn't write shit down.
I Okay, here's some lyrics
I
from Glow Up.
I have it. Oh my god, glowing up, glowing up, glowing up. We in this bitch and we going up. Oh god damn.
No, 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 no. This must be the highlight. You ate the pussy. Yeah. No, no, no. Wait a second. Let me restart. Yeah. Ate that pussy. She lucky. I don't fuck her. She fuck me. You just said you fuck her, right? Like saying that eat the pussy, right? Like, what do you mean?
Also,
You just what?
one of the first lines in the first verse is, "Yeah, they're fuckboys and they can't win." I haven't heard the term fuckboy in a couple of years now. I didn't even know that was still a thing.
It's still a thing. I'm pretty sure.
It's not
Um,
as prolific as it was though. I remember before that was all people used to talk about.
I think it got popular. Um, yeah. It's just this album feels like it was made back in 2010. It's
Well,
like,
it's like how like a lot more people are using Lit and LitFam now, even though that was popular on the internet and with like younger people like 5 months ago. It's catching on in the mainstream now, but it's already like past its cool date with the people who were using it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's like when Rad was cool for like 2 weeks back in the 2000s again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, rad and gnarly, all these words are great. That's a thing.
Well, they are great, but they were back in the lexicon again. Now they're kind of
Yeah.
just for like old fogies like myself who are like, "That's radical, kids."
Oh, you fogies. Um, yeah.
But this next track, I'm going to just give my quick opinion on it. It feels really out of place on the album just because of how the rest of the album is, but it's a good song.
Young
Really,
Black America.
yeah,
Okay.
Americans, isn't it?
Young Black America.
Okay, America. I mistyped it. It's good, it's really interesting, but it's such a counter to the rest of the album. Like it feels like not a brown note because that would imply it's like bad in a sea of good. It's like
It's like a white note.
that's not the word I wanted to
No, that's
use.
racist.
Well, it's not that it's racist, it just doesn't sound good in this context.
Yeah.
Like it was the shining beacon of what this album could have been.
Oh, I'd probably say something like that. Like, I, like just based on like your opinion of it and listening to everything else, that it sounds like it's a highlight, like a track that could have been on a different album. Uh,
Yeah, it sounds like rock bands used to do this all the time. Sometimes the song would get cut and they just throw it on the next album. That's what it sounds like. I'm not familiar with this dude's work, but shit, he must got popular doing something, right? Then again, that
yeah.
other guy you showed me is popular too, and I don't understand that.
Who?
The guy, we were talking about him earlier. Ugh, guy from the music video last week. People, I'm bad with names. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
Lil Uzi Vert. Yeah. Well, I think. I think particularly Uzi Vert, he's popular because he's I don't know. He just appeals to kids who want to get high, and he's sort of pop culture centric, which is what everybody loves. Um,
I
so
suppose.
yeah, and not like he treats the pop culture like he's using as image with any depth. Like his lyrics don't actually talk about these things. They pretend like they do, but they don't. Um, yeah.
Uh, the next track is Open, and my thing for this is inoffensive background noise at best. That's all I have to say on it. Like I think that's my big problem. Like a lot of this stuff I'm not going to remember beyond like young black America for anything more than wow, that was a dumb lyric or that was really weird. That's my big problem with the album overall, and I don't know if it's because this type of music is lost on me or I don't
I
know.
think I think the problem is that Meek Mill is not a good rapper. He doesn't write songs. He writes raps. I think even a good rapper doesn't just write raps.
Like Fred
He writes
Durst.
songs. Yeah, no. No, thank you.
That's going to be our running joke.
Tanuki, Tanuki. Um,
So you take
uh,
that cookie and stick it up your yeah.
that's
That's a
terrible.
great song. You do realize Limp Bizkit's being like funny on purpose, right? That's the whole. That's
It's,
half the point.
don't a lot of people take them seriously?
Yeah, that's usually the people who hate them.
I can't say anything about Limp Bizkit, and I don't wish to. Um,
Don't make me change what album I picked. I will change it to Significant Other.
please no. I'm quitting the podcast
You
if that
can't quit the
happens.
no. You certainly cannot do that because you're gonna have to make the amount of rap I'm gonna have to listen to from here on out is staggering.
It's not going to be that much, I promise you. It's going to be. I have one wrap album in mind when I get my time to pick, but
That other,
I might not even choose that.
yeah, you should choose the other one.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
See how bad my choice pisses you off.
Uh, uh,
Next one is Ball Player. The beat is actually really good in this song.
okay,
Uh, but to keep in mind with that, some of the sounds. Are you familiar with FL Studio?
I am not.
FL Studio was a music making program. It was uh like an electronic. You could make
Oh,
music in it, right?
oh, actually, I'm pretty sure I've listened to most of this thing, but I never paid attention to any of it until like one or two listens. I think I remember this one, and it has like these preset notes in there, right? Like
Yes,
there's
it sounds like it's straight out of like a music generator tool. Like the sound like that. There's a specific sound that sounds is ripped right from FL Studio. To
it's like strings, right, or something.
I don't. It's more like a kick drum.
I I know there are multiple moments where I said, "Was this made in like a $20 program?" Like,
Yeah, and it's like once the song gets going and it cuts that out because the sound does go away eventually, but it's there for the first part of the song, and I'm like, this sounds like something you would see like someone make for fun on YouTube. The beat, and that doesn't mean it's bad, but it was just really like jarring to hear on a
yeah,
professionally done album.
yeah, Meek Mill's is pretty big. Like again, this was a number 4 album. Like, it's just odd.
We picked the wrong. We should have started like a week before we started because Brand New had the #1 album in the charts.
Oh, uh,
You know who
no,
Brand New is, right?
it's like a it's like a it's like a punk band, right?
Punk, emo. They actually have a lot of good songs. I was like, one of their albums was what I was going to pick, but then this other band came up, so maybe
Okay.
next time.
All right. Next track for you.
Made It From Nothing. Rick Rude is also on this song. My line on this song was Rick Rude could not save this song.
Rick Ross, not
Ross.
Rick
Rick Rude
Rude.
is a music producer. Yeah. I
Isn't
I'm surprised I only fucked that up now.
wow. Isn't Rick Rude is also a professional wrestler. So,
Ravishing Rick Rude. That's true. Yeah.
yeah.
But like this song is just like there's very few songs I'd call outright bad, but this one I held didn't hold my interest at all. The female singer in it's okay. Also, people, I'm not someone to ask for recommendations from female singers. I'm not a fan of them in rock music in general. And no, it's not a sexist thing. I just don't think it meshes well. There are some rare exceptions to the rule, but I'm very hard line. Not hard line. I'm just gonna stop digging my fucking grave at this point. Next song, which is Price. Price has the same feel as Young Black Americans.
Yeah.
And this song like makes me think about the rest of the song as the album, I mean, as a concept because the first line is shit ever since I got money, I ain't been happy like I used to.
Uh, that's
That that line is so real it hurts cuz I know everyone knows someone like that.
I think I think like even there's the next lyric sort of like reiterates that, which is sometimes can be annoying, but I think I like it. They say you got to pay the cost to be a boss. You know, it's sort of like it's a more, I guess, like packed up version of that, which I kind of like that. Um, but I think, yeah, like wins and losses, and it's funny how little losses are in this album.
It's all in this track, it seems like. The loss is this track where he's talking about all the cost of like all this money and fame and everything he's done.
Is it a do you like this track?
I do. I do like this track as well. Yeah.
Okay.
The
Um,
music video does that thing where it adds about a minute of fucking filler that I don't think is needed. I just don't. I've never liked that in music videos where there's like a story interwoven in and then it cuts the song off. But it, some people like that, so that's fine.
I find it annoying. Like there's only a few times where I think I've seen it work. Jay-Z's new album 444 has some like weird music videos, but that album isn't really about like him or like specifically him being a boss. Like this is like his new album is very much about him being like he's being humble a lot on the thing. Like he talks about his riches sometimes, but he's trying to make amends for
I like
basically.
Jay Z.
I'm actually not a big fan of his stuff normally, but I think this new album, I need to listen to it. But it was on Tidal. Do you know what Tidal is?
No, I don't.
Tidal is Jay-Z's music service that you can only access by paying money, and it's terrible.
Well,
Um,
that but like Jay Z's always been like known for his brand, right? I honestly think Jay Z the brand might be bigger than the rapper at this point. Kind of like Dre and kind of like how Puff Daddy was back in the
yeah,
day.
it's funny because Jay-Z still puts out music like more consistently than Pop Daddy or Dre. Like Dre had an album a few years back,
I don't
but
remember. Like I remember it coming out. It didn't do that well, did it?
I don't know. I heard some good things about it though.
Well,
Like
yeah, but I don't think it was the mainstream success people thought it would be.
yeah, because it's not like a big thing like the Chronic or something like that. Um, it was a more low key album. It was more like a actually it reminded me a bit of like sort of what like Kendrick Lamar was putting out. Like I feel like he was probably pretty inspired by his work.
Well,
So he sort of like did something a little bit like it, you know. It's a
one
little
thing
bit more about like people.
one thing I
Uh,
will say about Dre is that he's always been on the cutting edge of what's going to be the next big thing, even if he's a little bit too ahead of his time.
I
When he did the Chronic, I think he hit at the perfect time for what was big.
yeah. I don't think he's doing that so much anymore. I don't know if anybody's doing that anymore. Um, but
Well, the
well, I was just gonna say last thing about Jay-Z. he's stepped into the like this new album he has. He's stepped into the right direction, which I like. You know, like the whole thing is a like apology to his wife for cheating on him, and I think that's. I mean, he's trying now, and like the music videos. Yeah, we were talking about music videos. They're intercut with videos like 444 specifically. He's intercut with his rapping and like black people in America, like showing them like naturally. There isn't like filters on them. It isn't like a video of like a professionally done video of like a black kid riding his bike, but like videos from Instagram of like people talking and fights, you know, like world star stuff. And I thought that was super interesting. Um, you know, it's more like the music video is an art project than just a song.
Also, another great video that has a story going through it. Love is a Battlefield by Pat Benatar.
I've not seen that music video.
It's a good song. I like Love is a Battlefield.
I think we should. Okay, like we're off on other things. Let's finish
It's
up.
done.
It's done.
It's done.
All right.
My overall impressions since I listened to it all, I dislike a lot of the tracks, but the ones that do stand out, like Young Black America and Price, those songs are very strong, very like good songs. Like I could even me, I could picture putting that on and listening to it for fun. The other songs I thought were okay are carried by the guest stars on the track, not by Meek Mill himself. And
yeah.
the rest of them I will probably never listen to again.
Yeah. I'll never think about or listen to them ever again. Um.
If I had to
Uh.
have bought this, I actually would have probably smashed the fucking CD, to be completely honest with you.
I my overall thoughts, and I probably do a similar thing. Um. Is that it's definitely like you would have never found those songs if you just like if you had bought this CD and put it in, you would have never listened long enough to get to those songs, Taylor.
No, Sean,
It,
you're
yeah,
100% right. It's very weird that the best track is in the middle and very end of the album.
and like none of these tracks are short. There's not. I don't think there's any short track on the record. Like they're all like 3 4 minutes, so it takes a while to get to the middle.
Well, 3 minutes
Uh,
isn't that long. I'd say 3 minutes is like an average length of a song.
for rap, I think rap can be shorter sometimes, but like yeah, 3 minutes is a normal length. But there's also how many tracks? 17.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's a lot of songs. I was actually surprised because usually I actually am one of those people who bitch when I buy as like a 6 song album now. I'm like, this used to be an EP.
yeah, I
Man, did I not think that this time.
yeah, I think having a short album, like it can be a sign of not having enough material or just wanting to put the best like an important material on a like album, and this is not. This is a ton of like terrible material that makes up a 17 track record with two good songs.
I I really do wonder if at one point these were two different albums.
I don't think so. I like to me it comes off a little like not like a concept album, but like there was definitely an idea to it, you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah, you're right.
and the idea doesn't work.
But
There's
bands have done that before, like Avantasia for their second and not well, their second and third part of the Scarecrow trilogy, released the albums on the same day. One was
yeah,
the Wicked Symphony, and the other was Journey to Arcadia.
there's a rap group this year called Shabazz Palaces, and they do like weird jazz rap stuff that's like it's like more spacey, and they released like two albums that are meant to make up like sort of one double album. They released them separately just by like a month. Um, I don't know. I didn't really give them a listen, but I think it's interesting, but it's also like to me it seems like a gimmick, you know. Um, yeah. Oh, should we do our ratings?
Yeah, yeah, I think we should. And I will say, Sean, After listening to Price and Young Black America next week, feel free to change it. But right now, based on your impressions of what you got through, what is your star rating?
This is this at a what's our scale again?
We're doing 5, and you can do halves.
This is 1 star.
Ooh, ooh, that's a harsh number, Sean.
That's terrible. That's like
I'm giving it a 2. I think
uh,
Young Black America and Price carry this fucking thing to a 2. If there were more songs like that, this could have easily been a 4, 4.5, maybe even 5.
I like from what I've listened to. I guess it's hard to give opinion on the whole album since like I haven't heard those songs. But from what I've listened to, like most people, like if you like music, you're probably gonna like turn this shit off. Like you can bob your head to some of the songs, but that doesn't excuse hearing the fucking terrible lyrics. Like they just turn me off completely. Like I think there's some decent beats, but it's all ruined.
I,
Like
I I agree. Like that's why I give it a 2, because it's it's very much the fact that the good doesn't carry the bad in this. Like the bad drags the good down, if anything.
yeah.
And and I don't know when we're gonna actually. I don't know if we'll ever have an album you and me both rate 5 stars.
Yeah, that seems like a tough one. Yeah. Um,
Because I, for one, like if the album was mediocre, but there was one amazing song, that would get me to give it a 4, and I don't think you would do that. I think you would take the album as a whole, right?
yeah. I like my albums to be like a whole like thing.
A big circle.
Um, yeah, yeah. My favorite albums like tend to be like concept albums because it makes like every single track work together and be important,
Well,
you
mine as
know?
well, right?
Yeah.
Almost all my favorite musicians, like from each decade, are have been concept artists.
I think you'd fucking if you listen to Kendrick Lamar, if you listen to a full album through, I think you'd really like him.
I like DNA.
DNA, like that album, his most recent album, it's hard to call it a concept album.
I
And
meant the song.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm just talking about his most recent album and talking about concepts. It's not. It has some conceptual elements, and like it starts off really great, but I think it's weak to any listener out there. It's like there's a lots of he's an artist who is like conceptual and makes important messages in his songs, and he sidesteps that a lot on this new album, and I have a big problem with that. But I understand what he was trying to prove. In this most recent album, his is called "Damn," which the name is pretty telling of like sort of like it's just damn, like it's just supposed to be like this big mark, like that like DNA, that like music video where it's like just like crazy and like weird and fun. Like and it's sort of striking. That's like the entire album, and there isn't like too much substance. Uh,
Oh my god.
yeah.
As you were discussing that, I'm looking up the release date for Marilyn Manson's new album, Heaven Upside Down. There's a song on it called "We Know Where You Fucking Live," and that's amazing.
That's that's a pretty good song, man.
I already have a feeling it's going to be about the social media age and how you can track people down. I have a feeling that's the vibe
Yeah,
it's going to
yeah,
go for. I'm excited for that because how you talk about Kendrick, I find Manson is very much like that on like social economic issues.
yeah. Maybe one of these days you're gonna have to request in one of these book club BS stuff. Uh, the fucking Marilyn Manson. Uh,
Or we could roll it on the billboard when it comes out.
oh yeah, that's true. Oh
Also, I
my,
will say a lot of this stuff we're gonna have to find a new way to pick an album on the billboard because a lot of those albums stay there for a fucking long time.
well, I think like if
If we
yeah,
roll Meek Mill again, I will go to where you live and drown you.
that won't happen. I'll re-roll. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think like if we're rolling it, Say we land on one we've already picked, then we could just roll like a D2 and go up and down from it. You know what I'm saying?
I was also going to say, if there is something on the top 20 that we both really want to check out, like if we haven't heard it yet, I think we should be able to say that's what we're doing if we don't want to roll the dice. If we both are
Okay.
interested in it.
Okay.
Right
So then
now,
we
I'm
should
not
put.
interested in anything, so we could roll the dice again. But that could change by the next time we do it.
Yeah, but this time I think we can move on to it. We're doing a choose your own book for the club.
Yep.
Uh,
And this week is mine. This is my album, and it's another new album that I haven't listened to and Sean hasn't listened to.
yep, it's exciting.
It's
Uh,
Seether's Poison the Parish, which is a
uh,
fucking awesome name.
it's yeah, it's pretty cool. Poison the It sounds pretty religious.
I That sounds like a post-hardcore metalcore band's name.
Yeah,
Like Poison the Veil. It's like it's got that type of vibe to it.
it
Not Poison
definitely.
the Veil. It's Poison the Well and Pierce the Veil. I just combined two bands. Ugh.
um, yeah, I'm interested. The cover art looks real cool. That'll also have to be in the description, Taylor. Um,
Homework, Sean. They have to do certain things for themselves.
no, they can't because they're the audience. They're helplessly listening to us right now.
Well, yeah,
So,
but this is the point. In the comments below, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, down below, leave a comment what you thought of the album.
yeah.
Not,
Um,
not, not Poison the Parish. Save that for next week. But this week, put stuff. What do you think of Meek Mill?
yeah. What do you think of him? Are we wrong about anything? Tell
Probably a
us.
lot of it, to be
Yeah.
honest. Because, like I said, I really don't think this album was for us. Like, and I don't think a lot of albums will be on the top 20.
Yeah, there's actually some albums on there. Like I think Damn is still on there, so we could technically roll Damn. Um,
Tyler the Creator's on there too.
yeah, yeah. Which is yeah. All right.
Hamilton
So,
is this close to going back in the top 20.
I wouldn't mind if we rolled Hamilton.
I wouldn't mind it either because I've actually haven't like sat through and listened to the whole thing yet. I've heard bits and pieces of it and enjoyed what I've heard.
Yeah.
I like
Um,
musicals, everyone. The big metalhead loves musicals. My apologies.
yeah, I think musicals are interesting. I haven't like really listened to any.
Oh, you have to check out Les Mis
Okay. Um,
and Sweeney Todd
I only know a meme video about Les
and
Miserables.
and Grease.
I know Grease. Okay.
Tell me
Um,
more.
so
Getting
so
copyright flag. Da, 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 da.
so next week, Poison the Parish by Seether.
Are
Uh,
you at all familiar with Seether?
there was this we had like adopted this goth chick, um, and she was a fan of Seether.
Was it because of Broken by any chance?
It was probably
With
it
Amy
was
Lee?
I don't know.
That's the chick from
Uh,
Evanescence.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. It was. I think she listened to them, and I heard her listening to them, and I just like when I was there, like she listened to other like emo. She listened to emo music too,
Mm.
um, and so I actually like sort of got a taste for a taste for fucking My Chemical Romance, but uh, but not see that. I couldn't remember a fucking thing about them.
Well, Seether's biggest knock on them is always, well, when they first came out, was he was trying to be Kurt Cobain. There was a time where he even
Uh,
semi looked like him, which
uh,
didn't help the case. But like he has
just
he has done songs that I've enjoyed. Like I really like his cover of "Careless Whisper."
yeah, well, it sounds like they're just like a puddle of mud copy band, you know.
Oh, dude, don't actually fuck you. I like Puddle of Mud.
Oh, mud is fucking. I watched. What's that fucking terrible song?
She
The
hates me.
She Hates Me. Yeah,
La la
that
la
one.
love. I
That was
try
terrible. The
to.
worst thing I've ever heard.
No. No,
It
it's
just
not.
it sounded like like a baby Kurt Cobain does baby Kurt Cobain music.
He
Um,
what changed my opinion on them is they did a cover album called Rediscovery, and it's really good. He doesn't sing like that anymore. He actually has more of a nasal voice now. I don't know if they changed singers, but that dude does not sound like the dude who sings "She Hates Me."
okay, well it's that okay. So it's basically something different now. Um,
Well, almost all those bands had to evolve. Like Shinedown. Shinedown sounds fucking nothing like they used to. Shinedown used to be like a post grunge band. Now they're doing awesome songs like Cut the Cord.
I do not know of this. Uh,
Kids today.
all right. Do you think that's where we wrap up?
Yeah, yeah. I think we. I'm actually surprised we talked that long about the album, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I think it helps making notes is definitely like keeping us on track and like having things to talk about. I think with rap there also tends to be a lot to talk about because there's a lot of lyrics, even if they're shitty. Uh, um, and
This is where we get famous for shitting on Meek Mill and starting beef. We'll start
yeah,
beef.
feel like I think he's at like I'm pretty sure he's like actually done some like he sounds like a rapper who is like pretending to be like a coke dealer, but I'm pretty sure he actually was like
Oh,
and like
I don't think we're calling that into question. I was just making a joke about like all the. Have you not heard all the stuff about Taylor Swift, Katy Perry, and the other one having beef with everybody?
what?
News was on the TV today, and I watched it for like 5 minutes. I'm like, oh my god, I hate the fucking planet. Ugh. Katy
I
Perry cut her pretty hair. Made me sad.
cut her pretty hair.
Yeah, she doesn't have the long black hair anymore.
Uh, did I? Oh, Taylor Swift. Um.
Yeah, that's who they were. Like, Katie's mad at her. Taylor's mad at her. I think. I don't know. I was just half listening, to tell you the truth.
Katy. Oh, Katy Perry. Well, I don't. I kind of hate Katy Perry.
Why?
Like because she makes like stupid music. Like she's always been for me. Like there's certain artists who like start off and become these pop monsters from being like legit artists. But she was never an artist to me. She was
She
always just
she did Christian rock.
oh, come on now.
Hey man,
I
you shouldn't disavow us. I haven't heard that album myself, but you shouldn't disavow an album just because it's Christian rock. Look at how many people used to like Creed.
yeah, but look how many people like Creed nowadays. Like come on, like nobody. Like they're a meme.
With arms wide open.
With arms wide open.
Yeah,
I actually like I actually like that
yeah,
song.
I do as well. I actually like a few Creed songs.
It's cheesy, but
It
in
gets
a
the
way where
job done. Like sometimes you're
yeah,
feeling sad or something, Creed's fine to put on. Like they weren't the best of their type of music. Like I'm not a big STP fan, but their first album was like primo good for me. I love their first album,
STP.
Stone Temple Pilots.
Oh fucking But I think they have a great song though. That's like actually great. What is it?
Plush.
Plush is an amazing song. Plush.
Plush, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I think that's an amazing song, and it's so sad.
That whole album's really good. Where the River Goes is another great, often overlooked song. They changed their sound so much on their next few albums. Like they got away from that sound, and I like that sound. Like there's a lot of like post grunge bands I like, a lot of people hate. Like, and there's a few people like that I don't like. I know a lot of people like Our Lady Peace. I don't know if I don't know if you heard of them.
Shrug. I don't know.
They were a Canadian rock band in the '90s.
Okay, so okay, this is so off topic, but fucking Life is Strange.
The video game?
Yes, the video game Life is Strange. The main character, what's her name again?
Oh, from the first game, or who's going to be the main character in the new game?
In the first game.
I don't know.
Her Chloe? No, it's not Chloe. That's her friend.
Chloe's the blue-haired girl. Yeah, she's going to be the main character in the new game.
That's why is she the main character in the new game?
It's a prequel.
Okay. Oh, with the woman, Zoe, or
So
whatever.
it's oh Max. Max is the main character's name.
Max. She looks just like Taylor Swift.
That's
Um,
a random thought, but okay.
like a young, big face Taylor Swift.
Fuck. A young, big face Taylor Swift.
Got
Okay.
a big face.
She's got a big old face.
Yes. Yeah.
Girl got a big
We
old
might interject thoughts like that because we are game men.
game. He said game.
Yeah, I said game. We are game men.
Oh my
Um,
god.
uh, yeah. Um, all right, we should probably actually wrap it up now.
All right.
Um,
So,
uh,
thank you all for listening. This will probably be up. I'm going to try and put them out every Monday. So, I'm going to upload this one whenever and we'll just keep doing it like that so we have a week to just like think or we could it all depends. We'll see how the schedule flows for us cuz sometimes Mondays might be unavailable, so we'll see. But as always, dear listeners, from me, LA Shadow, Taylor, and from Sean Raiden,
goodbye.
goodbye and good night.
Wonderful.